Being busy and being productive are not the same thing, not even close. Failing to understand this difference could be the biggest mistake you're making right now. When I was a young man, I had a mentor who changed my life. One day, he watched me rushing around, juggling tasks, and said, "Jim, you seem awfully busy." I replied, "Yes, sir, I am." Then he asked a question I'll never forget. "But are you productive?" That stopped me in my tracks. I had to think hard about it. Here's what I learned. Activity doesn't equal accomplishment. Movement isn't achievement. Being occupied isn't the same as being effective. Let me share something powerful. Time is our most precious commodity. You can't save it, buy more, or borrow it. All you can do is spend it. The question isn't whether you'll spend your time. You will. The question is, how will you spend it? Most people spend their time without investing it, and there's a world of difference between the two. When you spend something, it's gone. When you invest something, it returns multiplied. Are you spending your time or investing it? That's a question worth asking yourself every day. Here's what's fascinating about productivity. It's not about doing more things. It's about doing the right things, the things that matter, the things that move the needle in your life and work. I've met countless people who are experts at staying busy. Their calendars are packed. They're always rushing from one meeting to the next, and their to-do lists are endless. Yet, at the end of the day, they're exhausted and can't pinpoint what they've accomplished. Sound familiar? I thought it might. Busyness creates an illusion of productivity. It makes us feel important and gives us something to say when someone asks, "How are you?" "Oh, I'm so busy," we reply, almost with pride, as if busyness is an achievement. But here's the hard truth. Busyness isn't a badge of honor. It's often a sign of poor planning, lack of focus, and misplaced priorities. Let me tell you about two types of people I've observed. The first are like butterflies, flitting from one task to another, never staying long enough to make a real impact. They're always busy, but at the end of the day, what have they accomplished? The second are like bees. They have a clear purpose, know exactly what they're after, and focus on extracting value from one task before moving to the next. Which are you, a butterfly or a bee? Productivity isn't about how many tasks you complete. It's about the value you create, the results you produce, and the contribution you make. Years ago, I learned a valuable lesson called the Pareto principle, or the 80-20 rule. It suggests that 80% of your results come from 20% of your activities. Think about that. If you could identify the 20% of your efforts that produce 80% of your outcomes, wouldn't you want to focus more time and energy on those? Of course you would. That's common sense. But as we know, common sense isn't always common practice. Most people spend 80% of their time on activities that yield only 20% of their results, then wonder why they're not getting ahead. They're busy, but they're busy with the wrong things. Imagine you're a woodcutter tasked with cutting down as many trees as possible. You swing your axe all day, working hard, sweating buckets, but you never stop to sharpen the blade. What happens? You become less effective, working harder but accomplishing less. That's what happens when we get trapped in busyness. We're so caught up in doing that we forget to pause and consider what we're doing and why. Let me ask you, what's the most valuable activity in your life or work right now? What's the one thing that, if done consistently and well, would have the greatest positive impact? Got it. Good. Now, how much time did you spend on that activity yesterday, last week, or last month? If you're like most people, probably not enough. Why? Because you were busy with other things, things that seemed urgent but weren't truly important. There's a critical difference between urgent and important, and understanding it is key to productivity. Urgent tasks demand immediate attention. They're loud, the ringing phone, the new email, the knock at the door. Important tasks, however, contribute to your long-term mission, values, and goals. They're quiet, patiently waiting for you to recognize their worth. The tragedy is that many people spend their days reacting to the urgent while neglecting the important, then wonder why they're not progressing toward their goals. Let me share a story. A university professor visited a Zen master to learn about Zen. The professor talked endlessly about his theories and knowledge. The Zen master listened quietly, then began pouring tea for his guest. He filled the cup and kept pouring until the tea overflowed onto the table and floor. The professor shouted, "Stop! The cup is full. No more will go in." The Zen master replied, "Like this cup, you are full of your own opinions and ideas. How can I show you Zen unless you first empty your cup?" Many of us are like that cup, overflowing with busyness, leaving no room for productivity. We're so full of activity that there's no space for achievement. We need to empty our cups, create space, and learn to say no to the merely good so we can say yes to the truly great. One of the most productive people I ever met shared his secret. "Jim, I don't have a to-do list. I have a not-to-do list." Fascinating, right? He identified the time-wasting activities that didn't align with his goals and consciously chose not to do them. That's discipline. That's focus. That's productivity. Here are some strategies to break free from busyness and become truly productive. Clarify your values and goals. You can't be productive without knowing what you're trying to achieve. What matters most to you? Where do you want to be in 1, 5, or 10 years? Clarity makes it easier to prioritize. Identify high-value activities. These are the 20% of tasks that produce 80% of your results. Make them your focus. Schedule your priorities. Don't prioritize your schedule. Build your calendar around what matters most. Learn to say no. Every yes to something is a no to something else. Ensure you're saying yes to the right things. Eliminate, automate, or delegate. If a task isn't high value, cut it. If it can be automated, automate it. If someone else can do it, delegate it. Focus on one thing at a time. Multitasking is a myth. Your brain can't handle multiple cognitively demanding tasks simultaneously. Task switching reduces efficiency and increases errors. Take care of yourself. Productivity depends on your energy, health, and mindset. Prioritize sleep, nutrition, exercise, and downtime. Some of you might be thinking, "Jim, this sounds great, but you don't understand my situation. I have too many demands, too many responsibilities." I hear you, but here's the truth. The busier you are, the more you need to prioritize. The more demands on your time, the more selective you must be. I once spoke with a young entrepreneur working 16-hour days, 7 days a week. He was exhausted, stressed, and still not seeing results. He asked what he was doing wrong. I had him list everything he was working on, dozens of projects and ideas. I asked, which of these, if successful, would make the others easier or unnecessary? He pointed to 3. Focus on those, I said. Put everything else on hold or delegate it. He thought I was crazy, but 3 months later, his business had grown 40%. He was working 8-hour days, 5 days a week, and he was happier and healthier. Why? He stopped being busy and started being productive, focusing on what truly mattered. There's a big difference between motion and progress. A rocking chair moves constantly, but goes nowhere. Are you like that rocking chair, confusing motion with progress, activity with achievement, busyness with productivity? I challenge you to examine how you're spending your time. Are you investing it in activities aligned with your goals, or are you just filling your days with busyness? At the end of your life, you won't wish you'd answered more emails, attended more meetings, or checked off more tasks. You'll wish you'd spent more time on what matters, your relationships, passions, and purpose. That's what productivity is about, doing more of the right things. Let's address common time wasters that keep us busy but not productive. Meetings. How many meetings could have been emails? Before attending, ask, is my presence necessary? What's the purpose? Could this be handled differently? Email. Professionals spend 28% of their workday on email, over 2 hours daily. How much of it is critical? Schedule specific times to check your inbox and handle each email once. Respond, delegate, or delete. Social media and digital distractions. These steal minutes that add up to hours. Set boundaries, use apps to block distractions, or keep your phone out of reach during focused work. Perfectionism. Striving for perfection wastes time. Excellence is the goal, but recognize when additional effort yields diminishing returns. Done is better than perfect. Lack of planning. Failing to plan is planning to fail. Start each day by identifying your top priorities and scheduling them during your peak energy hours. Inability to say no. Saying yes to everything leaves you overcommit. Before agreeing, ask, does this align with my goals? Is it the best use of my time? Another overlooked aspect of productivity is rest and renewal. Productivity isn't about being on all the time. It's about managing energy, not just time. Regular rest enhances creativity, sharpens focus, and improves decisions. Work intensely for 90 to 120 minutes, then take a 15, 30-minute break to walk, meditate, or recharge. Take at least one day off weekly and schedule vacations to truly refresh. The goal isn't to work endlessly, but to sustain high performance long-term. Your environment also impacts productivity. A cluttered workspace creates a cluttered mind. Organize your physical space to support focus. Surround yourself with people who uplift and align with your goals, as they influence your mindset and standards. Manage your digital environment by silencing notifications and organizing information flow. Small environmental tweaks can yield big productivity gains. Discipline is the bridge between goals and results. It's not about forcing yourself to do what you hate, but aligning actions with your values. Discipline grows stronger with practice, becoming a habit over time. Start small, even when you don't feel motivated, and the momentum will build. Decision-making is another cornerstone of productivity. Every choice moves you closer to or further from your goals. Productive people make intentional decisions, using preset rules to reduce decision fatigue, e.g., I won't check email before 10 a.m. Reflect on outcomes to learn and improve future choices. Fear often holds us back. Fear of failure, success, rejection, or the unknown. Productive people feel fear, but act anyway. Action dissolves fear, building confidence and momentum. Take small steps toward what scares you, and you'll unlock progress. Shift from a scarcity mindset, there's never enough time, to an abundance mindset, there's enough for what matters. Scarcity breeds anxiety and limits creativity. Abundance fosters generosity and possibility. Even with fixed time, how you perceive and use it shapes your productivity. Focus is a rare and valuable skill in our distracted world. Create a distraction-free environment. Practice mindfulness. Use time blocking. Take breaks. Prioritize sleep and delay gratification. Deep focus drives your best work. Productivity follows natural rhythms, daily, weekly, and seasonal. Align high-value tasks with your peak energy times. Embrace seasons of intense work, rest, learning, or transition. Working against these rhythms leads to burnout. Working with them sustains performance. At its core, productivity is about purpose. Without purpose, efficiency is meaningless. What gets you out of bed? What legacy do you want to leave? Your purpose doesn't need to be grand. It just needs to matter to you. Align your time with it, and productivity flows naturally. Your time is your life. Every minute is a piece of your existence you'll never reclaim. How you spend your time is how you spend your life. Are you wasting it on busyness or investing it in productivity? Are you filling your days with activity or accomplishment? The choice is yours, made every day, hour, and moment. If you've been trapped in busyness, you can break free. If you've focused on the wrong things, you can shift to the right ones. The past is gone, the future is unwritten, and all you have is now. What will you do with this moment? I believe in you. You have the power to be truly productive, to make a meaningful impact, to live with purpose and fulfillment. It's not about doing more. It's about doing more of what matters. Thank you for your time. Now go make the most of the precious time you've been given, not by being busy, but by being productive. Not by doing more things, but by doing more of the right things. The key to success isn't the hours you put in, but what you put into those hours. Make them count. Make them matter. Make them meaningful. Thank you, and God bless.